Greetings everyone. This is a quick promo before the video begins. If you're new to the channel and you didn't know it yet, I am actually an author in addition to being a YouTuber, and I have 2 books that you can get on Amazon. Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1 and The Occult Mafia. The first is sort of a bizarre, absurdist kaiju anime mashup, and the other is a horror noir story with a hint of a western thrown in there. They're both set in the same universe, and at this point have received mostly positive reviews, so you might want to check them out. I've provided Amazon links for both of them down in the description. They're both available in either paperback or Amazon Kindle, and Operation Red Dragon is also available in audiobook form. So if either of these strike your fancy and you want to support a struggling artist, feel free to go down and check out either one or both of them. Alright, the shameless self-promotion is out of the way, we can get on with the video. Thank you all for your support.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and some more Playmates Godzilla vs. Kong figures have gotten official images revealed. They show some interesting stuff, but before we get into that, I'm going to address something that popped up a little bit earlier. You may recall that the 11-inch figures of Godzilla and Kong found their way on Walmart.com for a brief spell, then may have been taken down or may not have been, but a few people managed to actually snatch a couple of them up before they were taken down. Somebody got one of the Kong figures and posted these images, which do not match up very well with the promo pictures. I mean, it's the same mold, but the level of detailing? Huge discrepancy. I figured that was self-evident, so I didn't say anything about it because these sort of photos are always photoshopped to make the figure look as good as possible. The actual quality usually isn't going to be on the same level. I think this is where we all have to remember that Playmates is not making these toys for collectors. It's making them for kids. They are toys. They are actually meant to be played with. Yes, a lot of adult collectors, myself included, are going to get them for collecting purposes, but that's not technically their intended purpose. As such, I don't think it's really fair for people to be expecting SH Monster Arts level of quality from these things. Now granted, that's low quality even by Bandai purposes, and Bandai is still made for kids most of the time. But then again, remember this figure? It's not even close to movie accurate, is pretty ugly in its own right, and was made exclusively to be a toy for kids to play with. Nowadays, it's one of the most sought after Godzilla collectibles of all time. Finding one is like finding the Holy Grail, and just about as easy to acquire. So yeah, in another 10 or 20 years, this hideous Kong that everyone's so disappointed by is gonna be worth a pretty penny. But that's beside the point. What about the new reveals? Well, earlier we got our look at Kong with the hatchet, but now we see him alongside 2 Godzillas and a Skullcrawler. These images, if we are meant to take them as literal interpretations of what we'll see on screen, give us a better sense of scale. And it looks like Kong is going to be just a little bit shorter than Godzilla. He's definitely grown since Skull Island, so he's not going to be a tiny little Oompa Loompa, but he'll still be just a tiny bit on the short side. Again, if this is accurate. It looks kinda like in most of these images he's standing slightly behind Godzilla, so the perspective might be adding to that effect. It appears we also have 2 variations of Godzilla. One that comes with a heat ray, and one that comes with a radio tower, according to the packages. The one that comes with the radio tower appears to be the more standard grayish-green appearance, but the one with the heat ray is very dark colored, almost black. And another difference appears to be that the darker one has translucent blue spines. Is there a reason for this difference other than to differentiate the figures? I have no idea. I actually think back to the old Tremmasters figures where you had the regular green Godzilla figure and then they did a black colored variant that they called Supercharged Godzilla, complete with its own explanation for why it's different. I don't know if that's the sort of thing we'll be looking at here or if that's any representation of what will be in the movie, but I just know we've got 2 different Godzillas. But then of course we have the Skullcrawler, which I'm assuming is to scale with the other 2, and thus that makes it possibly the biggest one of all. Meaning the big one alluded to in Kong Skull Island isn't the one we actually saw. Curiously, it's also got different coloration from the previous ones. The previous Skullcrawlers were all pretty much flat olive green with the bone white facial structures. This guy, in the tradition of Shaun of the Dead, has got red on him. Now, that might just be a detail on the figure itself, not representative of what we'll see in the film. But again, if that is a significant detail, it helps set this one apart. But that also raises the question, is this going to be a solo Titan-esque skullcrawler akin to Godzilla and Kong? Or is it going to be a new strain of skullcrawler that will be swarming everywhere? Well, that remains to be seen. But what really will have people speculating is the little vehicle that comes with it. According to the packaging, this is called an HEAV, all in caps. I don't know if that's going to be pronounced HEV, as in heavy, or heave, as in heave-ho. I'm just going to refer to it as the vehicle for now until we hear someone pronounce it. So what is this vehicle? Well, if I had to guess, it's a Monarch vehicle. And if it's not a Monarch vehicle, it might be from a rival faction of some sort, though what that rival faction would be, who knows. But as for the purpose it serves, well, I think it's pretty self-evident. Look at the design, and look at the creature it comes with. Think back to the plot synopses we've gotten so far that have told us we'll be exploring the Hollow Earth in this film. I think it's pretty clear that this vehicle, regardless of who it belongs to, is the vehicle that will be taking us into the Hollow Earth. It even looks sort of like a VTOL craft. A VTOL meaning vertical takeoff and landing for those who don't know. I learned that from the Dark Horse Godzilla comics back in the 90s. Come to think of it, it's almost reminiscent of that vehicle, though not quite. I suppose one other thing worth noting while looking at these images is that one of them shows the Heat Ray Godzilla blasting his atomic breath at Kong, who is blocking it with his hatchet. Interesting detail. A lot of people, myself included, were speculating as to whether or not this hatchet was made from a Godzilla dorsal fin. Maybe not one of the Godzilla's dorsal fins, but a Godzilla dorsal fin. We know there's more than one of him in the MonsterVerse, or there was at some point. Now, maybe this image is just set up that way to look like a cool image. But on the other hand, it could not only be confirmation that the axe is made from a Godzilla spine, but also that it serves the function not only of attack, but defense, because it's blocking the heat ray. Granted, it's not like a Captain America shield that provides a lot of coverage, but still a significant detail if, again, it's movie accurate. These are the only images we have at the moment, and again, taking into account that the images are probably done up in such a way to make them look as good as possible, we should expect just a tiny bit lower quality in the actual products. Again, these are toys, not collectibles, but that doesn't mean they won't be collectibles in the future. Well, that's about all we can say at the moment. Some of the early leaks revealed other figures, but I'm not covering leaks. I'm sticking entirely with the officially released images as they come, and that's all we've got for now. So you can share your thoughts on any of these things in the comments section below. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, then go down to the description to find links to follow us on DeviantArt, Patreon, and Twitter. While you're there, you'll also find the Amazon links for the original novels Operation Red Dragon, The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, and The Occult Mafia. 2 books I think you'll really enjoy. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.